I think American empire is one of these strange cases of cognitive dissonance. Functionally, the United States has many of the characteristics of an empire, but Americans themselves don't really want to be in the empire business. And this causes American power to oscillate. There are periods of strength, then there are periods of retreat, and after Trump has overreached, which he doubtless will, there'll be another bout of retreat. I mean, we've now, both of us, been around long enough to have seen this movie several times. Yep. So I think we are just back in a late 19th century mode with Donald Trump. Tariffs are late 19th century. Immigration restriction, very late 19th century. Much of the populist language that he uses would be instantly recognizable to anybody who'd studied late 19th century American history. And the progressive side took a very severe beating in the 2024 election, and they're currently conducting one of the longest post-mortems in American political history, and I don't think they've yet figured out why they lost. So for the moment, the kind of McKinleyite tendencies have the upper hand, but I don't think this is anything other than a kind of revelation of what has always been true. There was a time when the neoconservatives openly talked about empire, you might remember, around the time of the Iraq War. We're an empire now, and you'll all just have to watch what we do. That went wrong. And one of the points I made in Colossus was that the United States is not actually very good at empire by the standards of, say, Britain in the 19th century. There's a structural problem with American empire, which is worth spelling out. There are these deficits which make it hard to be as effective an empire as Britain was. There's a deficit in terms of manpower. I mean, America imports people. It doesn't really export people. Very few Americans want to spend large amounts of time in hot, poor, dangerous places, hence the 6-month tour of duty. There's another kind of deficit, which is the fiscal deficit, which is now substantially larger than when I wrote Colossus. That makes it hard.
Larger than defense spending.
There's also the problem that you're spending more on interest payments than on the defense budget now for the first time in American history. Yeah. And that violates what I call Ferguson's law, named after Adam Ferguson, I hasten to add. When you're spending more on interest payments than on defense, you're probably in trouble. That's been true of more or less every empire since 16th century Spain. And finally, there's an attention deficit disorder, which I think is inherent in American public and political life. People lose interest in complicated, messy foreign wars rather quickly. And that makes it very hard to complete them, whether it's in Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. This is a structural problem.